Okay, moving along. You're gonna get your you can get the garlic that I told you to buy. This is really easy. You can also chop garlic. You know, these guys. You can also do that, but those are 2 cloves of garlic, by the way. Okay, but you can, this is an easy way to do it. So you put a little garlic in there, see? And then I'm going to put a little olive oil in there. Okay, it's about that much. Now I'm going to turn this on high because I want to kind of get that olive oil and the garlic intermingled and cooking quick. Okay, so this is sort of getting hot. That's what it looks like. You could put a little more oil in there, but basically just like coat the bottom of the pan. This is also what you can do for a simple spaghetti sauce. You know, instead of, I mean, you can use this garlic for a simple spaghetti sauce, or you can, this is how you saute though. Now I'm going to pause. Okay, so now you see that it's starting to saute. See those little pieces of garlic in there? Pretty cool, huh? Now, regular garlic will probably behave a little bit differently, but you just want to release the flavor of the garlic into the oil. That's pretty much why you're doing this. And I sometimes will take it off because see how hot that is? Now that's still cooking, that oil. No, Grandma will probably say she doesn't do this, but this is what I do, so go figure. And I'm letting that oil kind of get hot, and then I'm going to take it off again. This is like a little trick. See, it's still cooking. Getting nice and brown. And if you were peeling your garlic would get nice and golden brown. Trick is you don't want to burn your garlic because it kind of doesn't taste good then. I mean, it doesn't taste burnt. But so let's see how nice it's getting. It's getting with a little bit of a brown, a little browned. Just a light golden brown. Okay, now I'm going to take my onions. I'm going to throw the onions in there. Onions are sauteed first with the garlic. You can put those together. I mixed some of the other stuff in there, but oh well. Okay, so taking those onions and you're sauteing those too with the garlic. And the onions, when they're done, when they get cooked or start to get cooked or intermingled, the whole thing is to flavor the oil. You see how the onions and everything is starting to get like translucent? Okay, so now I'm going to get my mushrooms. I'm going to put those in there. And I'll probably just put everything else in there just to make it easy. Doesn't really matter. Pretty much. This is basically you're taking these vegetables and you're sauteing them now in all that oil and the onions. I'm going to give them a nice flavor. Now you might be wondering, when am I going to add a little salt, a little pepper? You could add a little salt to this if you don't want to do the next step, but you can add a little salt to this. I just usually sprinkle just over the top, you know, like just a little layer of salt. You could always add more salt, you know, but you can't if you over salt it, you're done. But if you just sprinkle a little bit over the top of whatever I'm cooking, that's usually a good gauge for me for salted stuff. Alright, so we're coming along here. so now, oh, that's going to start to cook again. And by the way, these are my beans that I drained. This is what they look like. They look like just plain old beans. Anyway, I'm showing what this is. This is progressing. You see your vegetables are getting soft in there. It's all kind of sauteing together, so they're semi-cooked. Now you probably don't want to overcook. I mean, you know, a lot of people used to cook stuff to death, but this is really much more healthy to have it, so it's, you know, got a little crunch left to it. Alright, so now what are you going to do? You could probably let that cook a little more, but I'm just going to throw in the beans right now. It's all going to cook together. There's my beans. Now you can imagine this is going to take, it's hard to do this, and hold the phone. Okay, so you're tossing that together, right? Now you're going to let that cook. And keep it on, you know, you can keep it on high, but usually until it starts really cooking, and then you can kind of reduce it. This is like a, this is simmering around 3 or 4 if you're using an electric range. Medium, of course, is 5. But I'm cooking this on high because I'm just trying to get everything to start going, start getting to it's a good, you know, cooking pace. You'll hear it. You'll hear the sound. Now this is a trick that Mary Beth, your mom, taught me years ago when you weren't even an embryo. And this is sliced Spanish olives. Now, I don't have too much of this left, but basically you're going to throw the juice, some of the juice in here, and you're going to throw that olive in there because the salt, that's going to give you some salt. So if you didn't really salt before, this is going to give you some salt. And also the olives give it a really nice taste. Okay, things are coming along. Now if you wanted to, you could also add a drained can of tomatoes. Now tomatoes would be diced. I'm going to show you the can of those. Okay, so this is diced tomatoes. What you would do would be to open that can, you drain the liquid out, and then you would just pour it, you know, in there and let it continue to simmer. You're going to get a nice sauce with that. Heck, why don't I just do it? So I just drained tomatoes. A little bit of, there we go. I drained the liquid off of them. Now I'm adding all this stuff. Alright, so that's going to cook. And now you're going to see it's boiling and stuff like that. Now you're going to put it on low or something like that. And you're going to just let it cook. Let it simmer. That's called simmering. Okay, so the reason why this is a cheap meal is that garlic is pretty cheap, especially when you just cut a clove of it like this, you know. Can of tomatoes is about 99 cents. A can of black beans is about 99 cents. Mushrooms are fairly cheap. Onions, 1 onion is going to be cheap. These are dirt cheap around here. That's the jalapeno. And what else do I have in there? The green, you can use green peppers instead of red peppers. Red peppers tend to be a little bit more expensive. You see how that's nicely bubbling since I put that tomato in there. It's really nicely bubbling, and And it's simmering, and all those flavors are infusing. Infusing. You can do this. You probably say, I hate black beans. I hate peppers. I hate onions. But it doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want in there. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing there. Okay, so it's almost ready to go. You can make some rice. I don't know if I said that before, but you can get some white rice or brown rice, whatever you want. Follow the directions on the thing. Should be not too difficult. Rice is easy, but not easy. You have to do it a few times so you can get it fluffy, but basically follow the directions on the box. So that's almost done. You're going to get some fresh cilantro, if you want. And you're going to garnish this with some, when you're done, with fresh cilantro. I don't really have that, so you're going to have to use your imagination. And pretty much that's it. You know, you can vary this. You know, you would have rice in there or something like that. And that's how you do it. That's going to continue cooking. Now, if you want to garnish this with something else other than cilantro, you're going to get something like that. Cheese. You take your cheese. There you go. And then just eat it just like that with the rice and so on. Or you can take this and you can throw it in the micro, but basically that should be good just like that. Very good. I think you'll like this. All right, bon appetit.